unfortunately we have noticed there is a rip in the mainsail, which isn't too good.
And as usual, managed to be doing the job in the middle of the day.
And it's the DJI Mavic Pro. Look how tiny this thing is. Pretty good day today. In fact, it's such a good day, it's a day of sail repairs, I think. So we've got clear sky at the moment. It has been raining in the afternoon, so we've got to do this job now. This is the hole in the mainsail. So when we got it out the other day, we noticed there was a rip in it. It's probably about 1 inch long. I don't think it's going to take much for that to give way, so it's pretty important we repair it. So this involves dropping the sail. Of course, we are in mast furling, so there's the sail there. We need to haul it out before we can then drop it down. One of the disadvantages obviously within mast. So let's go do it. So here it is. Put my dirty finger next to it and you can see it's yeah, about 1.5 inches, 4 or 5 centimeters, and that is only going to continue along here.
First of all, excuse the noise. This is the halyard banging inside the mast. So we've got this hole which has turned into a small rip. To stop it going any further, needs to do a small quick repair. We're going to get a new sail hopefully soon. So we've got this Dacron tape, which is adhesive on one side and thin tape on the other. We've got these 2 rolls. I don't know how long we've had them or where they came from. So we're going to use these. So you put a little bit of tape on one side of the rip, another tape on the other side of the rip, and then we're going to just sew it as well to make it even stronger. Just a crisscross stitch around it. So that's what I need to do. But before I do anything, I've got to clean the area that's got the rip on it, and the received wisdom, whatever you want to call it, says you have to use rubbing alcohol. We don't have rubbing alcohol, we only drink alcohol. So I'm going to use some of this, which is cheap alcohol we got in Langkawi. Probably more than enough. Cheers.
Whilst Liz works on the sail, I have a little problem to deal with, and that is our anchor windlass switch, and the up switch stopped working up at the deck here. Fortunately, we have another set of switches in the cockpit which we can use to override, but essentially it stopped working, and I've had a look at it, and it seems as if we've got a bit of bad corrosion, and where the wire meets the terminal on the little switch, it's actually come away and it's completely disintegrated. This is the switch. It's tiny. It's this tiny little switch here, and as you can see, the wire here I've just stripped it again, but it has come away. I don't know if there's actually supposed to be a terminal here that has disintegrated, but I'm not entirely sure how repairable that is.
So I've got an old chopping board under here to keep it nice and flat and straight, and what you try and do is get the edges as close as you can, and then you lay the tape over the top. We're lucky that it's right on the seam there, so I can line it up there.
And this is Dacron tape,
This is Dacron sticky back tape, specifically made for this purpose, for repairing sails. So there you go. So we're going to be real belt and braces about this. Put another bit on the other side, and probably as soon as we get back to Langkawi we get a new sail, because it's happening everywhere.
Yeah,
But even that on its own, I understand, will hold it. But we'll do everything.
Just show us the other bits as well. So we've got, it's basically...
Yeah, you can see all these lines here, look. That stitching's come undone. So there's holes in there, which is going to make it weaker anyway. That's a hole there. Well, we think the sail's at least was probably 25 years old. Done pretty well. Right, so I'll put another piece on the other side next.
So is the idea then to stitch around it?
Well, yeah, I'm going to see if I can get something to go through, just using, I've got some Daybond tape, which is a bit like Tanara, and I don't want to use my Tanara because I haven't got very much. So
and
the
it's thicker
Daybond,
as well.
Yeah, it is, but the Daybond is unbreakable supposedly, and it only needs to last for a couple of months, so it should do the trick. I'm just stitching it here all the way around, just to give it a lot more protection, strength. But the only needle I've got is this curved one. The other, well, I have other needles, but they're so thick, I just think they're going to damage. And as usual, managed to be doing the job in the middle of the day, so it's really not.
Meanwhile, I'm attempting to repair this switch, but I'll show you, this is the switch here. Now, I've tried soldering it, but there's nothing really for it to solder onto. I'm not sure what to do about this. I'll give it another go, but I think we're probably going to have to get in touch with Quick, who make the windlass, and see if they can send us a new switch.
Okay, I've done it. I've put the tape either side and stitched around the tape very, very untidily. But at least that particular tear there is now sealed and it can't go any further. See how long it lasts. Hello, we're in Koh Lanta now and we're about to answer a couple of questions, but before we do that, we just thought we'd let you know why we're here. We left beautiful Siam and Chang to come all the way to Koh Lanta for something called a pirate jam. We're here with American McGee, and he has 3 gamers on his boat and we have 3 gamers on our boat. They've got 1 week to come up with a new game.
Gaming jams are quite a big thing actually in the gaming industry. Don't forget, of course, the games industry is bigger than the movie industry across the whole world. So it's a huge business. And these jams happen all over the world. They normally last for 1 day or maybe a weekend. There have been train jams, there's been a cruise liner jam, I think, or a boats jam. But this is quite unique because this lasts for a whole week.
More than that though, they get to learn to sail, and they come on Esper too.
In the next episode, we're going to cut our journey short. So we will go back to when we left Chang, but just for next week, just to stay up to date, I think we're going to cover a bit more of the pirate jam. But that's just a bit of an explanation as to why we have suddenly jumped to Lanta.
Yeah, so this is where we are now. If you do hashtag Pirate Jam 2017 on any social media, you should get an idea of what it's all about.
It's question time.
Yeah, and the first question has been asked by a lot of people, and it's all about that drone crash, Jamie. It went in the water. And what happened?
I crashed the drone and it went into the water. Fortunately, it was waterproof, and that was one of the questions we got asked was, I hope that drone was waterproof, and it was, and that's why we were flying it around the boat. But a lot of people have been asking about the drone. Up until recently, we've been using the Splash drone, and that is specifically for launching from and landing in the water.
Yeah, perfect for us.
And it uses a GoPro camera, but if we're honest, it's a little bit clunky. Yeah. And the amount of post-production we needed to do from the footage it recorded was insane. I mean, it would take us like 2 or 3 days just to get the footage. It was a little bit of a headache, but we persevered.
Yeah, and it was great to have such tremendous feedback from everybody on how much you enjoy the drone footage. So we've decided to take it a step further.
Ta-da!
Here it is.
This is our new drone, and it's the DJI Mavic Pro. Look how tiny this thing is. You could literally slip this in the back of your pocket. She is so smooth to fly, very responsive, but most importantly for us is that she's producing exquisite 4K footage that requires no processing and no filters. So it massively reduced the amount of time that we spend in post-production on our drone shots. And as a consequence of this, it means we're more likely to put the drone up and fly it more frequently. So we're hoping that you should see more fun, exciting, dramatic landscape shots with this beautiful piece of kit.
Yeah. You're definitely going to see it next week, because we'll be covering what's happening this week. Then the week after, we'll nip back to our journey from Koh Chang right through to here. But of course, that will be the old splash drone footage, and you will know that Jamie will have spent a week rendering it and getting it right for you.
So let's just go back to our last few days on Koh Chang, and don't forget to check out Pirate Jam 2017. Check the hashtags and take a look at some of the video clips which we've put in a playlist for you called Pirate Jam.
We'll stick some links below in the description for more information on it. It's a beautiful day here on Koh Chang, so we thought we'd come ashore and take a little walk, get off the beach, go behind the beach and see what's happening. And most of the time so far, at this little bit in the middle here, we've got lots of small bungalows which tend to be taken over by older couples, slightly older people who really have just come here to really relax, chill in the peace and quiet of beautiful Koh Chang. They often stay here. We've met a few for 2-3 months at a time. Long vacation, a real great place to chill out, perhaps write a book, do a little bit of art, just read and enjoy nature.
Koh Chang, known as the Elephant Island because Chang means elephant. There are no elephants on here though. This is Long Beach all the way up here. Now it gives the impression, it's labelled all of the resorts, it gives the impression that there are many resorts and that it's very congested, but the resorts are so well done and tucked away into the trees right on the beach that you don't really get to see them. We have been marching through in a northerly direction, come off the beach, through the island, through the jungle, up and down a few hills, and we are awarded with this rather splendid view. So this is looking north. The camera probably won't pick it up, but over on the horizon is Burma or Myanmar. Lots and lots and lots of islands. And so just round the corner, around this headland here, is how you'd get to Ranong. But we are now desperate for a drink. It's a rather hot day today, barely a cloud in the sky.
And like all our longest, hottest uphill walks, we did it in the middle of the day.
Here we are on the beach. This is the very beginning of the northwest cove, I suppose. Well, this is the first of a few coves, and just around the corner is another little beach, and each one has 1 or 2 bungalows. This is the Context bungalow and restaurant resort complex. Very, very Mediterranean here. Look, got the Bougainvillea right behind me, and it's like an Italian lake out there. It's so flat. And of course you've got Burma, Myanmar over in the distance there. But look at this, it's just beautiful. It really is like being in Europe, in the southern Mediterranean. Love the little Wendy House guest houses over in the hills there. They probably just get a view of the sunset on the edge there. We've just been up to the first one here. But I notice as we look around there's a Moken village, Sea Gypsy village right over there, a couple of new piers, and there's a school. We are anchored just here, so looks like a very busy map. You can see that these are all the concrete roads, and they're all up on the north side of the island. Down south you've got the big mountain here. There's no real concrete roads. It kind of stops about here at Cafe on the Hill. Anyway, there's a little insight into Koh Chang.
If supporting us through Patreon or the Rum Fund is a step too far for you, but you want to support us in some way, then please subscribe to our YouTube channel and share our videos. There's a share button on all the videos for social media.